won't make it, no matter what they say. You should always try to live a positive life anyway. We only have one life to live, and we got to live it. Don't even strive on negative vibes, 'cause you won't make it, no matter what they say. We should always try to live a positive life anyway. We all know traveling out every day. The people they know the life is not a game that we play. If you're not sure about this test, I want the whole world to confess that we all should try to live our life the best way that we can. So I know we only have one life to live, and we got to live it. Don't even strive on negative vibes, 'cause you won't make it, no matter what they say. You should always try to live a positive life anyway. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. We only have one life to live, and we gotta live it. Don't even strive on negative vibes, 'cause you won't make it, no matter what they say. You should always try to live a positive life anyway.
That's right, family. That's right. This is your brother King Simon in the building. How you feeling? That's right. Got my new Numerovation motivation with numbers hat on. So, you could also order that if you also want to get that. I do sell them. So if you do want to get your own numerology merch and all that kind of stuff, you can go to my website, kingsimonproductions.wordpress.com. That's kingsimonproductions.wordpress.com. Or go to, just text me at 347-496-1022. So I am honored to be here first and foremost, speaking to you. And of course, the subject matter at hand. Of course, we're dealing with that the one-eyed man and woman are gods to the blind, deaf, and dumb. That's right. The one-eyed man, woman, and the man and woman are gods to the blind, deaf, and dumb. And what do I mean by that? Well, we're going to get into that from a mathematical perspective, from a numerical perspective, and just from a historic perspective, as much as we can delve into it deep. Now, I'm not going to be here too long, but I just want to share some quick information with you before we do that. Remember, share this video, because sharing is caring. Just want to remind each other that we got some events coming up on October the 16th. Obucho, a young man named Obucho Peters at the age of 10 is about to do a financial literacy event at 43 Snyder. If you want to find out any more information, please go to his Eventbrite at iamobucho.eventbrite.com. That's iamobucho.eventbrite.com, or it's obuchopeters.eventbrite.com. Let me put on my gunner glasses and my for the blue blocking. Also, in the month of October, we got some other events coming up on October 19th. This is the remix because Phil Valentine is coming in town. Let me check my email for that, because I did get the pictures, and I want to make sure that everybody out there gets it. That Phil Valentine is coming to town with Gary Knoll, Reverend Al Sharpton. Of course, it's Reverend Al Sharpton's place. Robert F. Kennedy Jr., Mary Holland, Miss Sheila Ely, and it will be hosted by Professor Curtis Cause from Vaccines Are Dangerous. You want to find out more information about that, please go to vaccinesaredangerous.com. That's vaccinesaredangerous.com. Also, it will be on Saturday, October 19th, absolutely free at the National Action Network, 106 West 145th Street, Harlem, New York. That's 106 West 145th Street, Harlem, New York. Time doors open at 11:30 a.m. Please arrive there early. It's a free event. So share this video, share this video to people who want to know about those vaccines and why vaccines are dangerous. This is going to be the Harlem Vaccine Forum, and it's going to be off the hook on October the 19th, and that's a Saturday. Also, the Sunday, October the 20th, I will be doing an event with a beautiful sister named Natasha Dezzoni. She is a PhD candidate, sacred woman. She's also a mental health consultant. You can contact her via wholisticlp.com. That's WHOLISTIK or at Gmail at holistic, the same way it's spelled, WHOLISTIKLP at gmail.com, and also Instagram at holistic_living project. That's holistic living project _living project. Her number and business number for mental health, mental consultation, dealing with mental health for children, adults, women, men, whoever, indifference, whoever you may be. This sister does consultations for you. I believe she still does a free 20-minute consultation. Then you pay for the more to come after, but I think she's changed up. So make sure you give her a call at 937-910-8470. That's 937-910-8470. So we're going to be doing something at the place called 78 Saratoga Avenue. That's 78 Saratoga Avenue in Brooklyn from 2 to 6 p.m. October 20th. And it's called Sip and Relationship. Sip and Relationship, bridging the mindset of men and women, mental health therapy, and numerologics. That's right, numerologics. I'm going to bring the numbers with the logistics with it, of course, to break it down for them. Of course, it's going to be, I think it's $25 general admission, but advanced tickets are $20, and you can give her a contact. Tickets are available at Eventbrite, but please give her a call at 973 910 8470. That's 973-910-8470. Also, coming up in the month of November the 3rd, I believe Black Magic 363 is doing something. So got to check with him. Got to make sure everything is right with him and how he's going about with that. I know it was supposed to be Billy Carson, but I don't know if that's still happening. Also, what else is coming up next? On November the 9th, a brother named Quasi, John Quasi, is doing King Na, the young 13-year-old entrepreneur. King Na will be coming to town for the first time in New York, speaking in New York under those forums there with my brother, and that's to be announced. But please go to his Instagram at Dreams Turn Reality. Dreams Turn Reality Instagram. DM him on Instagram, and you'll find out all the further information about that. And then to top off the month, we're going to do it just like that before Thanksgiving, or before they celebrate that holiday of Thanksgiving. Boom, you know the deal. This is going to be my 24th celebration in promotion and production. That's our 24th anniversary and celebration in promotion and productions. So save the date. It's November the 10th. That's a Sunday, November the 10th at St. Francis College. That's 180 Remsen Street, downtown Brooklyn. Doors open at 1 p.m. Event starts at 2 p.m. Advanced tickets are $24.99 right now at in Eventbrite. That's eventbrite.com. It's $24.99, $25 advance. Let's say it like that, but it'll be more at the door. So you can get your tickets on Eventbrite. And I'm going to keep it $25 until the door price will probably go up a little, like another extra $10 or more. But I'm going to keep the price at $25. So you can pick up your tickets at Nicholas Brooklyn. Also, Nicholas Brooklyn is located at 1396 Fulton Street, between Brooklyn and New York Avenue. You can give them a call at 718-858-4400. That's 718-858-4400. young people are free from the ages of 0 to 17. Just make sure you can keep them quiet, and if you have to go in the hallway, no problem. And we will be live streaming on USA Livestream. That's USA Livestream.com. USA Livestream.com. Get your tickets early. Get your tickets early. I think it's $25 at the live stream online. I think it's $20 to $25. USA Livestream for those all over the world who wants to tune in. And now, guess who's going to be there? KT, the Arch Degree, will be putting it in with his beautiful wife, the Oracle, or Trapped in the Oracle. So big up to her and him. Also big up my brother from out of my other brother from out of Trenton, New Jersey. They have the Acoma House Initiative. That's Manchu and Washa. So big up to them. That's Manchu and Washa. They are been in this relationship for so many years. They're like a relationship guru. So we're gonna bring the heat about relationship. We're gonna deal it with health. We're gonna deal with wealth. We're gonna deal with love. We're gonna think with mathematical thinking into the future. Also from from Delaware, the one, the only, from Drop Squad Kitchen herself, the one, the only, Abundance Child will be it. Y'all know me and Abundance used to work together for years, and we're still quite good friends and good partners. So Abundance Child and her whole family from the Drop Squad crew and family will be in the building. Also, Joshua Sarah, the teacher, the mathematician, the spoken word artist, will be in the building. And I think he's going to perform one piece before he gets off the stage. But also we got live performance by Brother Pharaoh from out of the Nuwapian Nation, dropping that old style Brooklyn. Also, we got Nairobi Sila. She would be doing a new segment called Cool News Report. The Cool News Report. So she's actually going to sit down in front of the table right there with the news and giving the Cool News Report for 10 minutes about what's going on in our community. So, and I'll be closing it out after the whole festivities because we got the place all the way to like 9 o'clock. So please share this to let people know what's going on. If you do want to donate, please go to my paypal.me/King Simon. That's paypal.me/King Simon. I believe it's www.paypal.me/King Simon. I don't have Cash App at this time, but I am going to renew a lot of IDs and stuff, so I can have Cash App. So please use the PayPal if you want to make a donation, make a love gift, circulate some funds, because circulation is the new form of generation. Circulation is the new form of generation. It's always been that way, but it is what it is. Also, I do have a Patreon page now. You can go to www.patreon.com/King Simon Productions. Production is spelled with an S at the end of production. So that's Patreon. And I'll be putting patreon.com/King Simon Productions. So I'll be putting up a lot of stuff on there that you will not see on YouTube, and send it. I'll probably put bits and pieces of things, but I'm going to be putting up some stuff on Patreon of my own and breaking down a lot of stuff. Also, you can catch me on all social media, so please be my friend on Instagram. That's King Simon Production on Instagram, or Numeroversity on Instagram. Those are my two pages, King Simon Production and Numeroversity. Or go to Facebook, King Simon, MC Simon, or King Simon Production is my public page. Or you can also hit me up on Twitter at King Simon Prod. That's King Simon Prod at Twitter also. And if you want to do a numerology session with me, that's 347-496-1022. Text me your full name and date of birth, 347-496-1022. I do have a special advertising rate for 1 whole hour, including recording, is $130 for the 1 whole hour. If you do want to do 35 minutes, it's cool, but I always suggest do the hour, because I go in, I bring in information, I delve into your numbers and how to use it and how to make it better for you. So let's get into the subject at hand. You know, I used to hear Dr. Sabi say the one-eyed man is king. One-eyed man is king. So the name of this is the one-eyed man and woman are gods over the blind, deaf, and dumb. Yes. Over the blind, deaf, and dumb. That's right. The one-eyed man and woman are gods over the blind, deaf, and dumb. What do I mean by that? Now, do I mean you control because you have your eye open that you controlling other people? No, that's not the premise of where I'm coming from. I'm coming from the premise that once we let our both eyes become one. That third eye that they talk about in the scripture, that third eye that Isa ibn Miriam or Yeshua or whatever you want to call them, that story talked about that two eyes becoming one. That third eye is delving into the intuitiveness, into your subconscious, into your spirituality, and letting it become one. Because the more you start to delve into that great spiritual realm of yourself, that's when you start to rule as a god, living beyond this. Not even thinking, not even being a part, being in it, but not being of it. That's what's so important about it. And I say this because I've discovered that as I am getting older, and as much of you are getting older, you tend not to do the same things, which is by right. You're not supposed to do the same things as if you was 20, or if you was in your teens, or if you're adolescents, or if you was even a child. That's not the same thing. You could you could more than likely plan or think like a child, keep a childlike attitude, but try to plan like an adult, like some people would say. And now some motivational speakers would say that. So be very, very, be very patient with yourself as you develop into the one eye thinking, or the one eye of God thinking. And because a lot of the physical things that we see are either half real or not real, optical illusion. But usually you can depend on that intuition if you use that gut feeling, that third eye. If you use that third eye, which is actually the first eye, if you use that first eye first and use it to your benefit. I've learned to use it through understanding numbers. Like I've known a lot of people in my circle that are highly spiritual, highly intuitive, and few of them know that I use numerology as a crutch, so to speak, to get my message across. But I and all of us out there are born intuitive. All of us out there were born with our eye open, especially the original people. And I have to stress that because we're getting off the beaten path of who we are. Just like in the Black Panther when Angela Bassett yelled out to her son, "I am who you are. I am T'Challa or T'Chaka." But you got to know who you are. And sometimes in those darkest moments, like in the Black Panther, when he was fighting with my brother from over there of the guerrilla tribe there and the warriors, when he was fighting with them, and he was at that point of might be giving up and submitting, you have to delve within to find out who you are. And that significant call that the mother made stimulated that for him to wake back up and say, "Hey, I'm not giving up." That's just how it's working. And that's how you have to think in this day and time, that we're not giving up. And I like what Baba Kaba always say, makes this quote. He always says, not quit. It's about quitting. He says, "It's never too." No, he always says this quote about a winner never quits and a quitter never wins. But he also says, "It ain't over until we win." That's what Baba Kaba Hiawatha always says. It ain't over until we win. As a matter of fact, let me pick up his book while I'm here at it. Pick up his book. This is his new book out there. Make sure you get Kaba Hiawatha's book. That's Spirituality Before Religion. Spirituality Before Religion. It is so far a good read. Spirituality is unseen science, and science is seen spirituality. Ooh, I know there's gonna be a lot of people that's gonna be trying to get at him for that one, but it's the truth. It's the truth. Because a lot of the things that we're creating, a lot of the things comes from the mind, that one eye first, come from that thought first, and then we bring it to fruition. The phone that we have in our hands, these mechanisms, what we're working through now came out of the mind or the spiritual energy first, and then became a science. It manifested as a science, but it came into a blueprint, a thought pattern first. Before they started dropping down the ideas, they started getting the materials together. So they started using alchemy to pull all of this together to the point that we got the computer age. They even use numbers because they use the binary code to activate this thing. So the numbers are significant. That's why I tell people to learn to use the numbers so you can learn to activate your one eye. because knowing the numbers and studying the numbers, not letting it control you, but letting it guide you, helps you to activate the intuitive faculties inside of you. That's why I tell people, hey, my book is here, man. Numbers are simple, people are complicated. This is the first white version, but it's blue now. Numbers are simple, people are complicated. And what's so interesting, I got this book by Claudia Vaslaski, Africa Counts, talks about the whole African counting system and the patterns in African ancient cultures, and it is real. So, in order for you to become the gods, or order for us to become the gods that we are supposed, because we're all fallen gods. We've all fallen here to this confinement, this shell, which we call the skin, but we are highly spiritual intelligence, intuitive beings that needs to tap in. How many of you always have dreams that are very vivid? How many of you remember that sometimes you think about somebody and all of a sudden they show up, or all of a sudden they call you on the phone, or all of a sudden you meet them in the next few days, or you see them? That is our deeply intuitive powers that we have, that we need to tap into. Even clairaudience, clairvoyance, all of that stuff we had, it wouldn't be a word for it if it did not exist. Even levitation, it wouldn't be a word for it if it did not exist. A lot of stuff that's holding us back is the fear, and having the fear of this and the fear of that. Myself am charged with that. Sometimes fearing to get back into a relationship after being hurt, or you hurting anybody and all that kind of stuff. I've been down that road. I am like you, family. I'm no better than you. We are all growing in this reality. And I understand that some of us, we take time to grow. Some of us take slower, and it's a process. I'm not telling anybody to rush into anything. I'm not telling you to rush your child to be, but I do ask, when you deal with a child, do not do the mind control stuff. Let them be free. A good book that I have here on that, and I think Brother Panic showed this book before. Very good book that you get, and it gives you, it's called Mind Control 101 by D'Artalian Jones. Mind Control 101. How to influence the thoughts and actions of others without telling them, knowing, or caring. Deep, but it's a 101. Simple stuff, but it works if you know how to use it. I'd say you got to use it with the proper intentions, but if you use it for other intentions, that's up to you. But I'm saying that's the disclaimer. I give my books or my information, and in my book, I even have a disclaimer that, hey, look, the information in here can be used for both sides, but I put a disclaimer that I did not give you, or you did not buy the book from me to do that. Is more for positive intentions and most for y'all to be better. And that's why I do Numerovation, or that's why I even wrote a book. So that's why my disclaimer in my book, I put that first thing first in my book. I put that, made sure that it was in my book, because a lot of people use numbers in their own way. And numerology can be used, and it has shown that they can be used for the lower energies or the higher energies. So my disclaimer, as the author, disclaim any liability caused by the direct or indirect use or misuse of the information in this book. None of the information is meant to take the place of an accredited licensed medical health practitioner or any accredited doctor or what have you inside the field of any field, put it like that. But why did I put my book back there? That's not where that's goes. This guy have an order. You know, people, I got an order. I got to keep things in order. That's my trait here. One of my traits, keep things in order. So when you study numbers and people that's born under the 1 all the way to 31, there is a mechanism on how to activate the numbers that you're born with. And that's what I do through my numerovation sessions, to help activate your numbers. Whether you use it or not, it is there for you to activate. It is there for you to activate as a guidance. So just like if I throw on my GPS, it's here for me to throw on my GPS and turn it on and say, okay, I want to go here. And then I press start and boom. So once you get to understand your numbers and the high power numbers and your challenge numbers and your destiny number and your life path and your alignment number and your achievement number and your pinnacle numbers and your challenge numbers and all of the different numbers that vibrate throughout your name and your birth, your date of birth, and through your life and through the years, the personal months, the personal days, and through the day. That's one thing about numerology. You can pinpoint it through the hours in the day, even darn near to the minute if you want to. Sometimes we just got to recognize, and it just helps you to be more intricate and help you to see more. It helps you to open up the one eye, not just the two eyes. It helps you to unfog the one eye. That's what numerology or numerovation use, to help you to unfog the one eye and start seeing things. Sometimes you might dream numbers, and there's many people that dream numbers. There's even a system for dreaming numbers. Nigerian numerology has a system for dreaming numbers. You could even use gematria if you dreamt about numbers. You could use Kabbalah if you dreamt about numbers. You could use the Chaldean, the Pythagorean. Use them all, because it's all about using the holistic means and use of numbers as a guiding mechanism, like your GPS. So I say that we, as men and women out there, have to make thine eye one. That means the two eye has to become the spiritual eye and learn to utilize it better, learn to recognize the things around you from the time you close your eyes. I can actually stay in my house and listen to my whole house. Thanks to people like Dr. Blair. And I got to big up Dr. Blair because I still have his books on sale. I got a few more left. This one is called My Close Encounters with an Extraterrestrial. That's Dr. Blair's book, and showing support for his meta sector. So all these books that you purchased from me are actually, the money has already gone back to the Mentor Center. I'm just getting my money, my finances back, but I already gave them a donation for the Mentor Center to get these books. So Man, Woman, and Child, very good book. Please DM me or hit me or text me or whatever you can do. My numbers and everything is in the description bar on this channel here, and you could hit up any video and see my number. You could text me if you want to get it ordered. 2 for $30. And I might throw in a free DVD. Depends. I just haven't been able to get to the DVD spot, but 2 for $30. That's how it works. So you get those 2 for $30. And I think I only got a few. The extraterrestrial ones, I only have 4 of them left. And Man, Woman, and Child, which is an in-depth connection about man, woman, and child, 2, 4, 6, 7 of those left. I got 4 of the extraterrestrials and 7 of the Man, Woman, and Child. So even that is so important, because it takes those 2 to make that one child. And sometimes we have twins and triplets and quintuplets, all kinds of stuff. But man, woman, and child is such a very good dynamics on explaining how the two becomes one, how the 2 becomes one through their child. It's the 2 that takes it to become one. You see that triangle is made right there. You see the triangle is made. So that triangular, that symbol of the triangle is the man, woman, and child in certain aspects. 1, 2, and 3 in another aspect. Could be as above, so below in another aspect. You just have to know the symbols, study the symbols, and use the symbols for your best. And numbers are a symbol. It's a symbol of order. It's a symbol of recognizing things. It's a symbol for computing. It's a symbol for esoteric. It's a symbol for metaphysics. It's a symbol for abstract. It's a symbol for internal. It's a symbol for counting down your teeth. That's why when you go to the dentist, they have all your teeth numbered. It's a symbol of order. That's what numbers are here. So the study of numerology is exactly what it is. The study of numbers. Numerology is the study of numbers. Pardon me. So numerology, ology behind it, is the study of numbers. So it tells me that you need to at least study it on a basic level and use it on a basic level for yourself and your family. And I do teach classes. If you're interested in the classes, please email me at numbersRsimple@gmail. That's numbers, the letter R, simple at Gmail, or hit me up at King Simon Productions at Gmail. That's King Simon Productions at Gmail, or even something easier. I am King Simon at Gmail. I am King Simon at Gmail. You can hit me up. That's an easier email that you can hit me up on if you want to take the classes, or if you want to get the downloaded links to the 10 classes that I got coming up in the month of November. So that's going to be tight. It's going to be, you'll get all 10 of them once you pay the price. It's like $50 per class, and it goes from the very basic all the way to the advanced, all the way to the 10th. So that 10th is that sign of recompletion and bring it back to you with that 1-0 energy. So we're going to be working it. So if you're interested, please hit me up or text me or whatever, or hit me up at those emails that I just mentioned. You can listen back. But again, I keep it simple. You see, I don't get into nothing crazy and too deep, just showing you that these different modalities that they taken away from us to make us blinder so we can be sheeple. Once we learn to use these modalities like the astrology, the numerology, the tarot, the spiritual readers, whatever guidance that you need. Once we learn to use that, and it helps to open up and help us to tap in and bring out certain things that we need, just like any educational system, but education can be from a spiritual perspective and a physical perspective. Just like reading a book like the Bible, the Quran, and those different types of things. It's all relative if at its level. So it's all needed, especially if it's needed to help you to be a better person. That's why I don't down anybody following religion, because I've been through there. I don't down anybody following any type of spiritual system. If it's not for me, I say it's not for me at this time. Maybe in this lifetime it's not for me. Maybe in the next lifetime it might be for me. It is what it is. So I am more stronger now in this lifetime under the auspices of using numbers, of which I dub numerovation. So it is motivation with numbers, motivating you to be your very best and your highest, and your child and yourself and your wife and your partner. And I do compatibility sessions where I take both couples, they're both on the phone, break down their numbers in front of them, give them the positive and negative of their numbers, and how it can be spoiled and messed up if they don't do this or if they don't bow. I help them to balance it out. And just like many people that I've worked with, so, but if I see that you need more in-depth or deeper counseling, then I will send you to people because I try to share the wealth. So if you're doing a session with me and I see that you need deeper counseling, then I'll send you to the Babas and their wives and all that kind of stuff to give them that deeper counseling, and it's important that you understand this. So let thine eye become one, family. Enhance your meditation. Go into your meditation. I remember Brother Panic, but that book, Brother Panic mentioned something about putting what you call it, menthol, or the Tiger Balm with the strong menthol on the tip of your the forehead right there, and watch it. And it does work. Those things do work. Sleeping with water near your head, near on your desk, or somewhere close where you can pick up the vibration. I'd be sleeping with a jug of water, and I'll be having some fantastic journeys and voyages in my dreams. So it's just what it is, family. It's time for us to tap in, be in the now, use it, and become our greatest representation of ourselves before we transition out of here. That's what we want to do. Good books like this is also good. Let me just say, this book is also good by Eckhart Tolle. Very good with The Power of the Now. This book is also good. The Power of Decision. Yeah, I got the power of everything in here. You know what I'm saying? Here's another one that Brother Rich recommended. The Power of the Subconscious Mind. The Power of Your Subconscious Mind. Another good book. I ain't playing with y'all people. Come on now. Even this book is wrote by one of Les Brown's mentors. This is by Mike Williams. The Road to Your Best Stuff. The Road to Your Best Stuff. We really don't have any excuses no more, family. We don't have any excuses. I love to read. I love to study. I love to research. I love my peace and quiet. Like I tell most people, most of my friends, I say, I love my peace and quiet. I'm not like I used to be in the club days. I love my peace and quiet, because in my peace, in my quiet, I get to delve into myself and realize why I am, who I am, and where am I, and where I am. That's why I'm not afraid of the transition. I'm just not going to rush it anymore, like I used to say on these stations, how I could have rushed it back in my day. But I'm not afraid of the transition. So I'm living out my life and living my life like it's golden or high at my highest level. And I was tuning in with Brother Polite, and he was talking about metaphysics and saying how, if you're not using your metaphysics to do what you got to do with it, then, what are you using it for? And that's true. That's why I use it. I use it because I maybe I don't expound to be at the level that he's at in California doing his thing, and that's his thing. I've had that choice to do all that. Believe me, I had that. I was in the club doing all that kind of stuff, dealing with productions, major productions in Madison Square Garden, all that kind of stuff. Major money was always flowing around me. I think I probably lost $1 million. That's how deep it is over my lifetime, or more. Because we was in there, we was helping out, we was building, we was doing what we had to do. I know it came in my pocket and came right out, always, chasing other things instead of instead of doing what was really, really important, especially for family and all that kind of stuff. Hey, chasing entertainment helped destroy my family. But when I learned how to understand that type of stuff, I had to forgive myself, but I also had to ask them for forgiveness. And we're still connected in some way. We're very much connected. You know, my children, I still talk to them, except one of them that don't want to talk. So it's cool. I understand what they're going through because I went through it as a child, and I didn't break the cycle, but it's up to them to break the cycle and keep it moving, because it's all about cycle breakers. And now that I understand the numbers I want to break the cycle, but it's good that I keep on teaching them that cycles need to be broken, and say it to them that cycles need to be broken. Whatever has to be broken, it has to be broken. And I'm glad that I'm healing and growing and becoming the very best that I can be. Even right now, I'm hearing entities. It's very interesting in my very being. That I could see that I could feel that I'm being surrounded in this at this time. You know, not just with my ancestors behind me, but it could be them, could be any one of them. But I know they're around me, and I give honor to them. I show respect to them. I got ancestral money and all that kind of stuff. And if if you take this to heart and learn how to delve within, especially as we're going into these other frequencies of the new year and all that, because I want y'all to protect your mind as much as possible, especially going into 2020. Be careful of the delusions and the illusions that's going to be cast, not just on a large level, but on a smaller level also. You're going to have a lot of people doing the same thing, casting those illusions and delusions and those dramas. And you're going to have a lot of haters coming out there. There's a lot of secret haters coming out of the woodworks. They're coming out of the box. They're coming out of the box. I'm happy because I can see it. And once you learn to see with that one eye, you become the gods that you're supposed to use. That one eye to see what you need to see, and learn to navigate and mitigate and move and slide and do what you got to do. Block if you have to, elbow if you have to, uppercut if you have to, whatever you got to do it. You know what I'm saying? Because that's a survival for the fittest, but also survival of the strongest. So I'm going to get ready to get out of here. Remember, share this video. I love and respect all of you. Remember, I want to see all of you there. And if you can't make it there, we live streaming it right on usalivestream.com. That's usalivestream.com. It's going to be a happy, happy anniversary and celebration. I'm going to have a good time. I'm going to get more into the 2020 dynamic as I close out that evening. I'm going to break down that 2020. I don't know if I'm going to do a PowerPoint or we just going to talk. But I'm just to filter questions from the audience, and we just gonna go in, and whatever the ancestors give me and download at that last segment, and see if we can get a little panel discussion. Then we're gonna rip in. But we got the Oracle and KT the Arch degree. We got the Acoma House Initiative with Moncho and his beautiful wife and Washa. And then, of course, we got the one, the only Abundance Child and Joshua Sarah. We're going to be dropping that wisdom and knowledge. Live performance by brother Pharaoh from out of the Nuwapian Nation, speaking on that old Brooklyn style. And, of course, Nairobi Sealai. We'll be doing the Coon News Report, doing the intermissions. We're going to be doing all that. And a lot of vendors are already coming up. They're already coming to me. We already got all of them will be vending. They'll have their vendors tables, but they're going to be more vendors there. So please be at St. Francis College. Please go to KingSimonProductions.wordpress.com, KingSimonProductions.wordpress.com for any product, any of my bio. If you want to book me to come and speak wherever you are, I am down. Or we could teach a class online to your whole family or whatever, family of 10 or more. I got no problems with doing it online or through via Skype, but more Zoom, probably Zoom or a private page on YouTube. We can do that. We can definitely do that. Also, like I said, St. Francis College is gonna be lit. Doors open at 1 p.m. The event starts at 2 o'clock. And don't forget, King Nas coming in town November the night with myself and Brother Quasi. Brother Rich got something on the fire. He's getting ready for November 3rd. He got something coming up October the 20th. My beautiful sister, Natasha Dezzoni, she's doing her thing with the mental health, and I'm going to be working with her. And don't forget, on the 16th, Phil Valentine will be in. Dr. Phil Valentine, Professor Cost, of course, Dr. Gary No will be there, Robert Kennedy, John F. Kennedy, son, And of course, Al Sharpton will be in the building speaking on vaccine. This is a vaccine forum, absolutely free, October 19th. You got to be there. It's a Saturday. And of course, before that, Obucho, the young man Obucho, 10-year-old CEO, will be at 43 Snyder Avenue in Brooklyn, right across from Erasmus Hall from, I think, 6 to 8. And it's a financial literacy with special guest adults that's going to be helping to teach with him about financial literacy and how he's opened up his business and doing what he got to do. So once again, if you want to do a numerovation session with me, please text me your full name and date of birth to 347-496-1022. That's 347-496-1022. And don't forget, go to my Patreon. That's King Simon Productions. That's patreon.com/King Simon Productions. Also, PayPal, if you want to send a donation or circulate funds, paypal.me/King Simon. That's paypal.me/King Simon. You could also pay for your tickets through PayPal also. You can pay for your tickets and just text me a note and let me know that you paid for your tickets. I'll make sure your name is on the PayPal list. And then you'll be able to get in, or go to Nicholas Brooklyn, 718-858-4400. That's 718-858-4400. Or please go to Eventbrite. It's $24.99 on Eventbrite. That's King Simon Productions.eventbrite.com. And if you want to do a numerology session, please text me at 347-496-1022. That's 347-496-1022. Have a great day, afternoon, or evening as I close out with my song, One Life to Live, because that's really what we got, family. One life to live. That's all we got here in this realm at this time. So let's use it. Peace.
We only have one life to live, and we have to live it. Don't even strive on negative vibes, cause you won't make it no matter